Good morning. Right now it is 9:12 on a Friday morning. I know I'm excited. It's going to be a good show, and I have a special guest that's going to be hanging out. He brought burritos. Enough said. Good morning. Can you introduce yourself and let me know what's in the bag?
Definitely, dude. Adrian Cordero with La Cruz Tacos, West Coast style tacos here in Houston, Texas. I brought you guys some breakfast burritos, so hope everyone's hungry.
Yeah.
They're pretty big.
Yeah. So you make some really big burritos.
Yeah.
What kind of style? Is it a Texas, Tex-Mex style or California style? What is it?
It's more of like a West Coast derived style. We use similar spices that you'd get like in Tijuana, like in Baja.
Mm-hmm.
And it's more of like we use mainly flour tortillas for like burritos, just giant ones, like 15-inch.
That's big.
Yeah. It's like a bat ray.
Yeah. If I go to, let's say, like fast food place, they serve tacos. What kind of tortilla size are they using? It's pretty.
You're probably going to get like a 10-inch, if that.
Yeah.
Maybe a 12. But we like, in the West Coast, it's 15-inch tortillas. It look like a brick. It's like the size of your arm.
Are you from here? Are you from?
Nope, born and raised in San Diego.
In San Diego, California?
Yeah. Spent about 37 years of my life down there. Just moved over here last year.
Really?
Yep.
Cool. I think of San Diego, and I think of like Blink-182, and like bands like that, like Southern California.
Yeah.
All these like punk rock, pop punk bands singing about how awesome California is, and so I've always been kind of jealous.
Yeah, it's like the whole West Coast like skate
Yeah.
scene. It's been around forever. It's still around, but I mean that's primarily what it is. It's a border town, San Diego, so it's like we get influence from Mexico, Baja. We get like the best of both worlds, I guess you can say, which is the same as out here.
Mm-hmm.
I love Tex-Mex. It's a different style. We're not accustomed to it. My wife and I first moved down here, we were like, dude, there's no West Coast style taco shops. Because out there, it's like, they're a dime a dozen, like a gas station here. Every corner, you'll see 4 or 5 of them. Out there, there'll be like 4 or 5 drive-through taco shops that are open 24 hours.
Really?
So we didn't see that out here. So that's like our slow progression to see if this thing works. That's our main goal, to try to get like a nice little 24-hour style drive-through where we're just pumping out burritos, tacos, and just fast food style stuff that's quality with the style that we love. And
That's cool. That's cool.
Yeah.
So, you mentioned big tortillas, and we've been talking about Tex-Mex versus, I guess, like Cali-Mex.
Yeah.
Lupe Tortilla is a Tex-Mex restaurant. Have you been there?
I have not. I keep hearing good things about it.
So it's good. You know what? They like, I like the fajitas there, but their tortillas, they have these massive, oversized tortillas. I don't know how, they may be like 15 inches, but they're giant.
Yeah.
But their corn tortillas are good too, but they're like a mixture of, they almost taste like flour. Maybe they're a combo, but that's just what they serve.
Yeah.
Are you a fan of corn tortillas?
I love corn, dude. The only, we actually make our own tortillas. We make corn tortillas just because it's hard to find a specific style and the taste that we like.
Yeah.
So we basically make our own tortillas just in taco format. Burritos, it's a different thing because it's a whole different animal.
Yeah.
It's a 15-inch bat ray that takes forever to make. But yeah, I love corn, dude. That's like my go-to. The style of Mex that we make, which is like Tijuana style, West Coast, Baja, it derives a lot from like using corn.
Mm-hmm.
So that's my go-to right there is corn.
Cool.
So that's what we make. We make our own chips, which is like, we call them chips out here. You guys would call them nachos.
Mm-hmm.
Except we don't use like, we don't cascade melted cheese over it. It's just like cheddar that lightly melts just because the chips are so hot. But we fry our own chips. So those are the tortillas we make by hand. We cut them up, we fry them. And we throw like carne asada, cheese, guacamole, like all the fixings on it. And basically that's our style. So yeah, the flour comes for the burritos, but the corn definitely for the street tacos and the chips.
Yeah, awesome. That sounds good. So what we're going to do right now is flip it over to the FM. We're going to keep it going, and we're talking La Cruz Tacos this morning. Good morning. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. Right now it is 9:16 a.m. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5. And I'm excited because we have a guest in studio. I'm going to let him introduce himself, and then we are going to be getting into everything that he has going on. Good morning. How you doing?
Doing good, dude. Thanks for having me, man. Appreciate it.
Can you tell everybody the name of the business and how they can find you on social media, what you're serving?
Definitely. It's La Cruz Tacos. My name is Adrian Cordero. We're family-owned and operated. Basically, my wife and my 2 kids.
We do West Coast style Mexican food out here in Houston. And we basically, you can find us lacruztacos.com, Facebook, Instagram, I believe MySpace, if it's still up, Friendster,
Yes.
Craigslist.
Were you on MySpace?
I was, dude.
Me too.
Yeah.
I had a for like I was played music, and so that was the spot. You had to be on MySpace. How many plays
dude.
you got on MySpace? Look at everybody else's. They got 10,000 plays on that song. That's a big deal.
Oh, dude, I was the first one to get the code to change your wallpaper and get like, live videos.
Yeah, and then there's Tom.
Yeah.
Everybody had him as your friend unless you unfriended him. I wonder what he's up to.
He's probably on Facebook now, dude. MySpace is over, so.
Yeah, they still have an. I get emails from them. I logged into my no joke. I logged into my MySpace probably about 2 months ago.
Yeah.
Just to see if I could get in there, but everything is gone and they stripped it all. They should have made it look exactly the same. Just never changed it from when they saw it was going kind of down.
Oh yeah, that was a huge platform too.
Man, it was. There was like I remember your wall, and then you could do like change pretty much like your song. You could rotate your songs, the colors. It was pretty cool. Yeah, and then I remember like a lot of relationships and friendships that I had. People get mad like, why am I not in your top 8?
Oh yeah, dude, that was crucial. You were dating somebody and they weren't like on your top 5 or whatever.
Why is Tom higher than me?
Exactly.
Tom from MySpace is number 1. I'm number 2.
Well, you kind of have to when the guy made it up. You don't want to like defriend him.
If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have this. So you have to be respectful to the gentleman. Right now it's 9:18 on a Friday morning. This is KHEARadio.com, 99.5 FM. We got Adrian here hanging out, talking about burritos and tacos, La Cruz tacos. Can we see what's in the bag?
Definitely, dude.
We're going to pull this out. And I have Crystal. She's going to be the awesome taste tester. And now I'm going to have to eat some too. That's a big old burrito.
Yeah. So this is our breakfast burrito, which is a staple of what we do, West Coast style.
Yeah.
So we use a 15-inch tortilla. And basically this thing's got French fries. It's got a little bit of cheddar cheese scattered, kind of cascaded over it. We've got some carne asada that we basically use our own dry rub. So all the meats we make, as far as a taco form, we use our own dry rub. We make our own salsas. We make our own tortillas. So it's like a legit old school Mexican style traditional taco and burrito. So basically this thing's got French fries, cheddar. It's got carne asada. It's got some egg. It's got a little bit of chorizo. And then we sprinkle a little bit of cheddar on top, a little bit of cotija, and we wrap it up.
That's the cheese, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cotija is like the Mexican version of like a Parmesan.
Okay.
So it's kind of like a stinkier, but it's like a dank cheese. Like you taste that and it sets everything off.
Mm-hmm.
And normally what I do is our style right now is we sear cheese on the outside of these. Unfortunately, I didn't do this style just because they don't travel well.
Yeah.
But you got to eat it like within 10 minutes. But what we do is we basically sear cheese on the griddle, throw this bad boy on top, and it basically melts and it kind of sears on the outside. So when you cut it open, you'll have cheese on the inside and you have like melted cheese on the outside. It's like heaven.
Man, so the one thing that doesn't, traditionally belong, as far as I know, growing up in this area, is French fries.
Yeah, that's a West Coast style thing, dude.
Putting like legit French fries in there?
Legit French fries.
Because I mean, I know like growing up, papas con huevos, and you take the potatoes and you put it in there with the eggs and cheese and whatever else, and that's good. But I probably would have a papas con huevos taco. I wouldn't think anything weird about that. But when I hear it as, hey, we got French fries in there, so they're cutting strips like that.
Yep, definitely. See, I don't mind papas. Like potatoes are the best. If you're gonna get like chorizo with like huevo and papas, that's amazing. I just find in a taco form or actually burrito form, you want the crispiness. You don't want like the sogginess of the potato.
Yeah.
Then it makes everything soggy and it kind of takes the whole taste spectrum out of it. If you get like a seared French fry that's fried nice and crispy, it holds up. The cheese melts over it. It's just, it's basically like a West Coast style thing. We also make a plate, which is like, it's basically nachos. Instead of chips, we use French fries.
Mm-hmm.
So you get a whole basket of French fries, any protein, which basically I recommend like steak, which is carne asada. That's what we call. You guys out here call it fajita meat.
Yeah.
In the West Coast, we call it carne asada, which in Spanish is basically like barbecued steak.
Deliciousness.
Yeah. So.
Have you seen that video? I saw it on Facebook where there's a family that moves in next door to the other, and one is from Texas and the other is from California, and they're like, no, it's it's fajita, and he's like, no, it's carne asada. It's like the exact same thing, but it's like, no, it's this is what it's really called. You're wrong. But it's a pretty funny video.
No, yeah, we actually get a lot of people because luckily in the situation we're in, we don't have a food trailer, we don't have a food truck, so out here, like, I guess the rules and regulations don't allow us to really sell out like in the open. So we got very fortunate. We post up. We actually have a pop-up location at Oki's Yard House on, I believe the address is like 1010 Marina Bay Drive in Clear Lake Shores. And the owner, Billy, is awesome. He let us set up a pop-up there with our existing setup. And he gave us Sunday nights, and now we've been doing so good. He actually gave us Saturday mornings.
Oh, that's good. That's
so we'll
awesome.
be there, yeah. So we're normally there every Sunday night from 4 to 10 p.m., and then now we're picking up Saturday mornings from 8:30 to 3. And on Saturday mornings, we're going to basically showcase, like, the burritos. We have 5 burritos. I think we're going to start with 4. And we have a California burrito, which is French fries, carne asada. We'll put a little bit of cheddar cheese in there, some cotija. A little bit of crema, which crema is like a Mexican sour cream. It's not as sour and aggressive. It's a little lighter. And then guacamole on top. Or, I'm sorry, inside we roll that. So that's a California. We just came up with our own called the H-Town. Still playing on the name. I don't know if I want to use H-Town or not.
I like it. It sounds like it was made for it. You know?
Dude, it's made just for Texans.
Yes.
Literally. 'Cause it's got everything you want. So it's got carne asada, and then we make our own roll tacos, which out here you guys call fajitas. So we fry them. So we put a chicken roll taco in the middle with some carne asada around it, and then some cheddar cheese.
You say chicken roll taco is like a taquito?
Basically a taquito,
and then you fry it and put it, so it's in the middle of it.
It's in the middle of it.
Okay.
It's sleeping in the middle. We wrap it up like a sleeping bag. It's got steak, which is a carne asada, roll taco, cheese, sour cream, and guacamole, and that's just amazing. So that's the H-Town. We have the Cali, and then we just do a traditional, which is just steak. We call it carne asada burrito, so it's just carne asada, sour cream, and guacamole with like onion, cilantro. And then we do another one, which is rice and beans with the steak and all the fixins.
Have you ever had somebody come up to the truck, or you're serving tacos and they are wondering, like, what, this isn't, Texas style?
Oh, yeah, we get that all the time, dude.
Yeah.
All the time.
How does that go normally?
Normally, I just put on a cowboy hat and it's all good. But everyone's like, yeah.
Oh,
cool.
yeah.
It's Texas.
It's tacos.
Yeah.
That's cool.
No, it's funny. We get a lot of people asking, like, what's this carne asada? Is it like fajita meat? We're like, yeah, it's the same thing. It's just we call it something else. But we've been very fortunate as far as what we do and how it's kind of resonated with the community and people like it. We've had a lot of good, like where we live, we have amazing neighbors, and they're always like helping us as far as promoting us, telling friends. So we've been very fortunate that things have gone our way as far as the taste spectrum and what people expect like a certain type of food to taste like.
Yeah.
Sometimes every now and then someone will ask like what kind of spices we use just because it's different, but we've never really had a bad, I guess like a bad vibe from somebody saying this isn't Tex-Mex. Everyone's always open. And out here in Texas, which is really cool, everyone's so hospitable and nice, and everyone loves to eat. So it's like if you're just going to give quality food, I don't think anyone really cares what it tastes like.
Yeah, you can't get mad at tacos.
Exactly.
You can't get mad at tacos.
Yeah.
I made, next week, you can see on Friday, I did a cool Thanksgiving special that's going to be airing on Friday with leftovers. So with turkey, usually it's sandwiches. You see like, turkey sandwiches. So I had a gentleman, Chef Jimmy, he does catering and he's right down the street. He was like, man, you should do a turkey taco. And I was like, I just had the best idea. I should do a turkey taco. I'm going to be doing a turkey taco that's going to be airing on Friday.
Nice.
But, man, you can't go wrong with tacos.
Yeah. It's life. I mean, you really think about it, like tortilla is, I mean, the Aztecs, like the ancient Indians, everyone is just, that's what life was.
And it's so simple.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And the cool thing about Mexican food, what a lot of people don't realize is that a lot of the influence from Mexican food, especially spices, came from the Middle East. Like a lot of like Lebanese and Persians and a lot of people that migrated down to Mexico. I don't even know the dates. I'm not trying to be factual on this, but a lot of the spices, like for example, al pastor, which we call it adobada. Out here it's al pastor. It's the big skewer with all the meat that's chopped up.
Yeah.
Well, that actually is a Persian influence. So it's when they migrated down to Mexico, they brought all the spices. They brought that idea. Mexicans kind of added like a couple of different spices to it, which is where they're from, their region. But yeah, the food is just, the thing I love about Mexican food is there's so many influences, just like, I mean, French cuisine, whatever. You find all these things inside Mexican food that you would never realize were influenced by another country or another place in the world. So it's one of those things where if you know how to cook Mexican food, you can pretty much cook anything.
It's true.
Yeah.
I was talking to a gentleman about Chinese food, and he was like, well, there's a whole bunch of Hispanic Mexican people working in the kitchen. I was like, yeah, I guess I have been in the kitchen of a lot of restaurants, and and usually it is. You know, they're pretty I guess flexible in making food, and it always tastes good.
Oh yeah, definitely.
So.
There's an area, it's called Mexicali, which is
Mhm.
like the border town between California, but it's out by the desert. It's like the very edge right next to Arizona. And there is no joke, some of the best Chinese food in Mexicali, which is in Mexico.
Yeah.
And no joke, a lot of people know it. And it's funny because there's people from El Paso that will make their way down there just
Wow.
to get Chinese food.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool. Hey, I got to say what's up to Colleen, who she works with the city of Lamarck.
What's up, neighbor?
Yeah. She's given some recommendations and some shout outs. She was like, those French fry burritos are the bomb. And she said, yeah, talk about the rolled tacos, Adrian.
Yeah, rolled tacos are another thing. That's what out here you guys call them flautas, like I mentioned.
Mm-hmm.
Out in the West Coast, we call them rolled tacos. So basically, we do chicken or steak, but it's rolled up in a tortilla. We fry it, so it's a nice little crispy vessel. And then we dress it with shredded lettuce, pico de gallo, put some cheddar cheese, some cotija, and then we use a sour cream, which we call crema, but sour cream style guacamole. So it's a little bit lighter colored than guacamole, but they're both mixed in. And we spread that on top and then cascade it with a little bit more cheese. And I love that, dude, because that's like a meal amongst a meal, because you eat the taquitos and afterwards you have a salad. So you're good to go. We give people a fork and it's like just the creaminess of it, the crunchiness, you get the veggies, everything's fresh. Yeah, that's what I love. So rolled tacos are a huge selling point for us. Burritos are going to start to be, but tacos and rolled tacos and our chips, which I mentioned, are like kind of salad nachos.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah.
Awesome. So we're talking about La Cruz tacos, and how long have you been doing this? Like, when did you start La Cruz?
We actually barely been doing this for about a year. We started in October last year. Right before we moved from San Diego, I was telling my wife, we actually used to work for a company that was based out here. So we would work from home in San Diego. We'd work remotely. So we've been in this area for like the past 2.5 years. So we'd come up for like 4 months, go back home, come up 4 months, go back home. And so we decided, you know what, let's make the jump and try to start our own company as far as catering and just making food. And before I left, I have a really good family friend who works for some of the best taco shops in Tijuana. In San Diego, it's a border town, so we're like 15 minutes away from the border. So I had a dude that I've known for years, and he was like one of the main cooks. And it's like this most sought-after taco shop in Tijuana, and they have like 6-8 locations in San Diego. So basically I told him, I'm like, hey, dude, I'm moving to Texas. There's no West Coast style out here. And he coincidentally has a sister that lives in Dallas. So he's like, dude, I understand. I was like, can I sit with you for the next like 4 or 5 months before I move and teach me like all your recipes? And he basically did.
Wow.
And he was like, rule number one for Mexican food is like, you have to have good salsa. If you don't have good salsa, the food's not going to be good. And literally rule 2 and 3 are the same. You have to have good salsa. So like we spent like 2 weeks just making salsas, and I was at the point where like, all right, can I start getting on like the meat section and like tortillas? But yeah, he influenced us. He showed us exactly what to do. We just took a couple of his recipes, added our own little spices. Luckily, my wife is like an amazing cook. So, and it's funny because she's American, I'm Mexican, and she actually has a better palate for Mexican food than I do.
Mm-hmm.
So it's pretty funny. So she grabbed a lot of stuff. She grabbed the influence.
And she grew up in San Diego too?
No, actually, she, my wife Jessica, I love her. Sorry she's not here. She's working her butt off. But no, she's actually from Memphis.
Okay.
We have a crazy movie style story. So yeah, she's from Memphis. She moved to Houston, and then from Houston she moved to San Diego for like 5 years, and then she was coming back and forth from San Diego to Houston. So I met her like in the last 2 years when she was in that process of moving back and forth. We met. Coincidentally, we have the same birthday, except she.
When is it?
September 3rd.
September 3rd. Okay.
Yeah, she's younger than me, so I always have to throw that out there. So, but basically, yeah, we met and then fell in love, and we did this whole thing together. But yeah, she's not from San Diego at all. She's from Memphis, via Houston to San Diego. So it's pretty crazy.
So growing up, did you do a lot of cooking as well? Did you do a lot of eating? Was it Mexican food?
Yeah, you know what's funny is I talk to my friends because back home, I miss all my friends. I love, like, we're all brothers and stuff. We played music growing up. We did a bunch of stuff. So it's like we have just decades of, like, memories and stuff. So I always talk to him, and it's funny because I'm like, I'm doing this now, and I have a day job, but it's like we're trying to cram all this stuff in on the weekends when we have time, and slowly but surely things are panning out in our favor. So it's like one of those things where what do we do next? But basically, I talked to my friends about this, and they're like, we remember like back in high school, we'd go to your house and ditch school and like go swimming at my parents' house, and it's like, and you'd be making everyone like quesadillas and like be making salsa right there, which is funny because now that I look back, I remember that. But yeah, from probably high school, I was starting to like make salsas and cook. Not too crazy, just my dad did it, my mom did it, so like I was around it, and I guess that was it.
Yeah. You know, I want to get on to salsa, but first I want to ask about your wife growing up in Memphis.
Yeah.
Was she the person always in the kitchen, you know, growing up?
Yeah, she was.
And where those influences come from her? Like, is there a Memphis style? I know there's like barbecue.
Yeah. She's got a lot of Southern roots. Her family, like her dad is from Tupelo, Mississippi, which is like where Elvis is from. So it's pretty cool. Like they have their influences. He's actually really good. Pat, I just want to give him a shout out. Love you, Pat. He's a really good barbecue enthusiast. He knows how to grill. My mother-in-law, Vashti, I love her. She's awesome. She is a phenomenal cook. She knows how to fry. She knows how to bake. She does everything. So yeah, they get a lot of like the Southern like grits, collard greens, like black-eyed peas. It's a lot of like Southern influence that has like the Cajun Creole spices. So I guess my wife gradually and like I guess just gravitated towards that spiciness.
Yeah,
so,
the spice and the flavors.
Exactly. So
Yeah.
I think like from Mexican food to like Southern, Cajun, Creole, whatever you want to call it, it just kind of like harnesses together, kind of mixes well.
So in San Diego, is there any of that Creole, Southern, Cajun food out there?
There are some spots. They're random. The funny thing is that I always tell everyone there's like I'm sure everyone knows like San Diego's like the mecca for like beer and like fine cuisine. It's crazy. Like some of the best chefs in the world own restaurants in San Diego. Some of the best breweries in the world are in San Diego. And there's one of the best fried chicken places, no joke, I've ever been to in my life in San Diego. And I've had fried chicken all over. Like I try to like, that's like the one food I always try to like sort out if I'm somewhere.
Yeah.
If the fried chicken's good.
Yeah.
And Memphis has good fried chicken, I'm not gonna lie to you. But I think so far what I've had in San Diego is phenomenal. It's just one specific restaurant. This dude, he's one of the judges on Top Chef, and he owns a restaurant, like a 5-star, like Michelin-rated restaurant next door. And next door he's got like a little like Southern, it's called the Crack Shack. And it's all like fried chicken stuff, basically everything from a chicken. And it's like the best fried chicken I've ever had.
I think that what makes California so desirable is the weather.
You know,
a lot of that. So you'll have these restaurants, obviously, you know, the water's right there. I'm sure there's a bunch of beautiful views and everything. So it makes sense that they would have some of the best restaurants and places in the world because people want to live there.
Oh, yeah, definitely. And the crazy thing is a lot of people don't realize how beautiful. I mean, Tijuana is a dangerous border town. But if you go into Tijuana, like maybe 15 minutes in, you get to like the beach area, which is called Las Playas, the beaches translated. And then you get into like Rosarito, Ensenada, which is all Baja. It's on the Pacific. It looks like Malibu as far as when you're driving down the freeway or the highway, you're on like mountains, you're on cliffs, the water's right there. And some of the best chefs, no joke, in the world, there's a winery that's right there. And apparently the way the soil, the way the sun hits it, like in the longitude, latitude wise, it's very similar to like some of the like the Argentinian wines and like different like vineyards. So there's a whole community out there. It's called Valle de Guadalupe, and it's like they grow their own wines. It's like sustainable. They have the seafood. They do like their own farming, and like I think like 2 or 3 of the top chefs in the world, like ranked in the world, have restaurants down there.
Wow.
So like just from TJ alone, Tijuana, it's like that influence just comes up towards San Diego, and then LA is obviously the mecca. It's like everyone who's anybody is in LA, so it kind of spreads that way, and then it makes its way out this way.
Is there any food that is not there? Is there any food that we can take back here and be like, you know what, San Diego doesn't have that? Tex-Mex. Is there not really any Tex-Mex out there?
There really isn't.
Would they like it? Would they be open to it though?
I think they would. Yeah, because Tex-Mex is great. It's just it's one of those things where it's different. It's like I hate to say it, but every now and then I need to have some Taco Bell.
Yeah,
it's the same thing. It's like, and I actually love Tex-Mex. Like I've only been to a handful of places. I love Papacitos. I think they have like amazing Tex-Mex. The tortillas are really good. I've had Gringos. They have really good fish tacos. So I mean, it goes hand in hand.
Yeah, there's a spot for it. That's what I think. So I grew up, in this area.
Yeah.
And I've had, just trips in other places, and I found out quickly you don't eat the Mexican food whenever you're in Michigan. You don't eat the Mexican food whenever you're certain places, and that's what I always thought. Like, man, they need like a straight up taco truck here. Like I used to live in Nashville some years ago.
Yeah.
It was like 10, 15 years ago. I don't know how long ago. And they didn't have any taco trucks. Like and I don't know. It was just different. It wasn't Tex-Mex. And then the stuff that I found, I was like, where's the food that I grew up, like eating? Uh-huh. So I always think about that. Like they need to add, Tex-Mex here or there. And I'm sure that's what you're thinking with the Cali.
Yeah, no,
the Cali style.
I was actually, the funny thing is, I have photos of this, but I was recently in Germany. I think around like Cinco de Mayo, right around there. We normally go to Europe like every year and travel.
That's
wife
awesome.
And some friends.
Yeah.
And we were in Germany, and no joke, right next to our hotel was like a little Tex-Mex restaurant. And it was so awkward because it's like we're in Berlin, like there's all this World War II, World War I like stuff, and German food. And there's a little
Tex-Mex restaurant,
a little hole-in-the-wall Tex-Mex place like right next to our hotel.
Did you eat there?
We did not eat there.
You didn't eat there? Yeah. You think it would have been good?
I don't know, man. What I saw on the menu was kind of awkward.
What do you remember anything on the menu?
They had like they have like schnitzel, which is amazing. It's basically
that's
like
sausage, or what is it?
They do it different ways, but it's pork. It's basically like chicken fried steak.
Okay.
But in pork, and it's super good. And they had like tacos with that on it, which seems good, but like I don't know. I was thinking like double fried, and then like you get a taco form, and I don't know how the tortillas are.
Right.
But yeah, it was like a straight up Tex-Mex place. But every time we went by, it was closed.
Schnitzel tacos.
Yeah.
That's not a good sign.
It probably
if it was closed, you're like, yeah, it's God. Just keep going. It's a sign. I'm not going to be stopping at the Tex-Mex in German.
Yeah, you definitely don't want to get some sort of like stomach illness while you're on vacation. So I tend to try to like make sure I'm at some place that's reputable or people online.
Growing up in San Diego, right, with Mexico right there, did you grow up and were you going over there? Were you eating at places?
Yeah, definitely.
It was safer back then than it is now?
It was, dude, totally different. I mean, I remember as a kid, like, we'd go to Tijuana because you can drink at 18. So, I mean, we'd go over there, get hammered, come back home. I mean, I remember, like, all my friends, like, they have girlfriends, friends of friends. Basically, all the girls that I knew were like, man, we were so foolish back then. But times have changed. Things are way crazier now. But back then it was fun and it was like safe. They recently, I don't know as of what year, but they have this program which is called a Sentry Pass. I have one, but basically you get like a background check from the FBI and all this stuff. It's like a frequent flyer, like a global entry.
Yeah.
Kind of pass, but basically they have a specific lane to go in and out of, which you can be in line. Like if you're in a normal wait line at the border, you can be in there for like 5 or 6 hours. There'll be like 500 to 1,000 cars. It sucks. Like I remember as a kid, we'd be going over there on weekends, and I'd be like, man, it'd be like 4 hours in the car.
This is the whole trip.
Yeah, I've got to go to the bathroom. Like, what can I do? Like, there's no bathrooms here. But they just started this program, a Sentry Pass, where you can go in and out in your car within like 10 minutes.
Do you pay for it? Just like something extra you can do?
Yeah, it's like I think like yearly it's like $180.
Okay.
Like you have to have a background check, and then your vehicle gets like inspected, and then you could only go with people that actually have a Sentry Pass. Mm-hmm. So like if you have somebody
together
in the car, they
all have to have it.
Exactly, and that car has to be registered. But anyways, nowadays you can get in and out in like 20 minutes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so like a lot of people that own restaurants in San Diego, like taco trucks or whatever, even random stuff, they'll just drive down there to buy ingredients, spices. You could be back in an hour.
So that works both ways? So even if you're 10 minutes this way and then you're coming back 10 minutes?
Yeah, the awkward thing in Mexico is now for some reason they beefed up security going into Mexico down there. So it's not as easy to get in there. But coming out is far easier.
Really?
Yeah.
Whenever I was a kid, we would go, I haven't been to Mexico in a while, but my parents or my mom is from the Valley. So down in Mission, Texas, the border is right there. So we would walk across. We never drove, but you would just wait in line. And I remember it was easy to get in. Like they're just like, whatever, asking. But then the line on the way back out, and they were asking. I actually got taken to a back room at the age of I was 16 because I just got my license, and I was stoked because I had it out. I got this brand new license.
I was showing them a license.
Yeah, I was like, I got my license. Are you a U.S. citizen? Yes, I am. Thank you. Here's my brand new license. And they were like, come with me. And so they took me to the back for some random stuff with somebody else with my name.
Yeah.
But I just remember it being a lot harder to get into the United States than it was. They were just like, all right, you're good. Go in. So it's funny just seeing how things change. And
yeah, unfortunately, the world's becoming crazier, and you have to kind of beef up your security and stuff like that. But
yeah,
it makes for safer things.
True.
So
right now it's 9:42. This is KHEA.com, 99.5 FM. Talking to Adrian. Him and his wife, they own La Cruz Tacos. It is Cali Mex style right here in Texas. Can we talk salsa? I see you have some salsas there.
Yeah.
Whenever it comes to like spice levels, where are you at? Do you have options, or is it just like this is a 10?
We have options. We're bad at that. That's the one thing we're working on. We actually just developed a mild salsa, which sounds really funny, but we finally did a couple weeks ago. But our salsas are at least an 8.
Okay, out of a 10 scale.
Yeah, I don't believe a 10 is even enjoyable. It ruins a meal.
Yeah.
I've had 10s, and I'm like, oh, this sucks. Like, I can't even finish the food.
What goes in yours? I like the color.
Thank you.
I think the color like is just as important. Like how it looks.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's part of it.
Yeah, we have a couple different options. I don't know if the camera could pick this up or not, but you always want to pair up a salsa with what you're eating. But basically, we use tomatoes, chile árbol, which is like a dry chili that's really hot. Serrano chilies.
Which one is this one?
That's got both of them. That's got chile árbol, which is hot, spicy, dry, and a serrano.
I'm gonna take a sip.
Go for it, dude.
Okay? Woo, that is hot. I like hot stuff though.
Yeah.
Let's see if I can function.
It makes it easier. Honestly, it brings that level that you want in food.
Yeah.
It just kind of spices it. It brings it up a notch.
Yeah.
But yeah, we have that one. We also make a green salsa, which is like a tomatillo base. And that usually goes very well with like chicken and pork. I didn't bring any of those, so I'm trying to pair what we recommend with our red salsa. And we have a mild. I didn't bring a mild. I figured
we don't need mild today.
Yeah, exactly. You guys are cool.
Yeah. So the hottest thing that I've ever eaten is something from like my granddad's tree. It's these little chiles that they call them, and I know there's an actual name for the pepper.
Is it piquin?
Piquin. Yeah. That's it right there. Man.
Dude, those things are hot.
That's ridiculous. You have one, and so what he would do, I just remember being a kid, and I tried it because that's when I started eating spicy stuff. They're like, you don't need this. It's too hot. I'm like, oh, yeah? I want to try it, right? So they take that one little piquin, cut it up, mix it with the rice and beans, per bite and all that. You like, if you touch it, it's uncomfortable.
That's what I was going to say. Like, we use piquins on certain things, not all the salsas, but I tell my wife, I'm like, dude, you got to put on gloves because if you're messing with that chili and you even get like a little bit on your skin or under your fingernail, it's going to hurt.
Yeah. And it's just uncomfortable. I was talking to a chef the other day, and he said, I think those are the feeling you get when you have one of those little chile peppers.
Yeah.
It's an allergic reaction. It's like your body is just like swelling up. It's heat. It's what it is. It's not a good thing.
Yeah, no, definitely. Your body's probably shutting that down.
Yeah. Amy, she owns iMassage Pro, but she's watched. She says she stopped by the other day and was able to get some. She said, I think on the Saturday. But she said, I think you're turning red, Guardian. I said, maybe so. You're probably right. Because I thought it was a good idea to drink some salsa, and it is really good. It has a lot of flavor. But yes, it is hot.
Yeah.
It's very spicy. It has a good spice.
Well, it actually makes more sense when you take a bite of the burrito and then you douse a little bit on it. Then you actually get the flavors.
I should have just chugged the whole thing. That would make an interesting segment. We haven't done anything like that in a really long time where it's like, we're going to make this interesting because I'm going to chug a salsa and then try and hold an interview. But
yeah.
It's fun.
You got like your own Fear Factor thing going on.
Yeah. So the two burritos, so these are they're the same?
Yeah, all three of these are the same. So if you want to start off with the bite.
Sweet. Let's open this up so we can see what's going on. Crystal, I'm going to have you eat some of this too, and I'm definitely going to be taking a bite.
Yeah, Crystal's game. I think she's down to try it.
She is down. So can you walk us through exactly what's in this again? This is a giant burrito.
Definitely, it's happiness.
A big old happy burrito.
God intended burritos for a reason because they're happy. People happy. So, basically it's got French fries. It's got carne asada, which is steak.
Take a picture.
And we sprinkle a little bit of cheddar cheese on it. Then we threw some chorizo on there. Put some cotija cheese. And like I mentioned, normally what we do is we sear our cheese on the griddle and we put that on top. So when we pick it up, it's got like seared cheese over it.
Yeah.
In this case, I didn't just because they don't travel well. you got to kind of eat those within like 10, 15 minutes.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Man, growing up, chorizo was my go-to.
yeah.
As a kid, like we'd go to church and they would have, tacos after. That's just, how it was, right? But it was always, chorizo con huevo, and that was like my favorite. I still have it to this day. My wife, she's white as well, and she had never had chorizo con huevos till we got married. And I was like, we're like at the grocery store for the first time, and I'm just like grabbing stuff. She's like, "What's that?" But she's not as like risky when it comes to trying new things.
Yeah.
But she's like, "All right, I'll try it." She's like, "This is good." And then like I had like all the different hot sauces that we get. I'm like, "Well, this one goes with this kind. This one goes with this." And she was like, "Man, this is good." It was a fun and funny experience, and I guess in a moment we'll remember. But
chorizo's the best, dude. Pork. I mean, you can never go wrong with anything pork.
yeah,
Have you ever had grilled chorizo where it looks like a cinnamon roll as it's raw?
I don't think so.
So you probably have had the tubes, right? Like
Yes.
You just grab them at the grocery
Mhm.
store. Well, if you go to like any like carniceria, which is like a Mexican butcher shop, that's what they call them, you'll see they look like a cinnamon roll. It's raw. So it's basically it's a chorizo in its, I guess, raw form as far as like a sausage link, but it looks like a cinnamon roll. It's literally round. It looks like that. Those we actually make tacos with those. It's just right now we're trying to balance what's easy for us and how many people we have coming in. We don't want to have like 1,000 tacos and we get like 10 people coming in.
Yeah.
And we gotta foreclose on our house. Sell it. I don't know what we're gonna do.
Have you found a Mexican meat market in the area
Yeah.
that is good for you?
Definitely.
Which
There's
one?
a couple of them. I like, I always forget the name. There's one actually right here on
In Dickinson?
Dickinson Road, right before you get to that
Yeah.
split. I think it's Michoacan, or it's not La Michoacana, but I think it's Michoacan. It's next to like a little biker bar.
Yeah. There's a washateria.
Exactly.
Well, there's a gas station on the corner, and I would go there all the time because I'd get the pastor from there.
Yeah, their
It's so
food is
good, man.
legit. Because I went there actually. One of my neighbors recommended me to go there for the food,
Mhm.
and then I didn't even realize they had a meat market.
Yeah.
But I think it's actually called Michoacana.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and they got the whole meat market in the back, the grocery store in the front.
Yeah.
My son, he has to go. He's 7. Every time we go by, I took him in there one time, and he saw they had like the ice cream and the little Mexican treats and all the pan and the bread and sweet stuff,
Yeah.
So he wants to go in there, and I usually want to go in there too, so it works out because we're able to I can get a taco, and I'm like, look around, son. I've heard a lot of good things, and I haven't bought any of the produce from there, but they say it's some of the best produce you can get.
Yeah, they have the really good, I guess, I don't even know if they're called, I'm using Mexican, which is the wrong thing to say, like Spanish style green onions.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost like chives, but they have like the fat end on the very end of them. It's almost like a circular.
Hey, Jessica, I think that's your wife.
Oh, it is?
She said Oaxaca.
Oaxaca, that's what it's
Oaxaca
called.
meat market.
Thanks, babe.
Yeah, there is a Michoacana in Texas City. They used to be really small. It looked kind of like Oaxaca, and then they moved it to the north side of Loop and built a brand new building.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think if there's another. Oh, I think there's one over in like St. Leon or Bay Cliff. I haven't been to that one, but I have eaten at some taco trucks up and down there. And there's so many good tacos, but there aren't any Cali style tacos that I've had. And so this will be the first. I'm gonna go ahead and take a break on the FM real quick so I can take a couple bites. We'll come back and I'm gonna let you know what the thoughts are. This is KHEA Radio 99.5 FM. Crystal, are you gonna eat some of this? Okay.
I brought 3 for you guys, so there's a lot.
I'm just gonna tear some off.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna make Crystal eat the rest. This is way more than I should be. Well, you don't have. Yes. Yeah, I'm just gonna say yes. I was gonna say yes.
I have a lot more salsa, so don't worry.
Kurt will get mad if he doesn't get one. So.
It's gonna be like the 5-pound burrito.
Oh. Crystal ate a 5-pound. I'll turn her mic on so she can at least give some feedback. She ate a 5-pound burrito at what's the name of it?
Los Compas.
Los Compas in Galveston.
Nice.
Yeah, it was 5 pounds. It was like eggs, bacon, cheese, potatoes. What else was in there?
I don't know a lot.
I don't know, but it was 5 pounds, and I had an hour
The
to do it.
Domingo burrito.
Yeah.
But it's not even, so that restaurant, they have that, but it's not like a challenge, like finish our burrito. It's just a menu item that they're like, oh, you want
that's
the
cool.
Domingo? Yeah. And we were talking to them, we're like, y'all have, how big is it? Has someone ever finished it? They're like, I don't know. Yeah, maybe. And so we're like, we're going to try and finish. So we had a couple people go over there. Crystal
Yeah.
finished. She was the only one who finished
I was
it.
the only one who did. Kurt,
Wow.
Kurt ate maybe like half of it and was done. And so I was determined to beat Kurt. I can't let him beat me at anything.
That's crazy. I was gonna say you're still alive. That's awesome. It's a lot of food to eat.
Hey, there's a lot of love for Oaxaca. People are like, it's called Oaxaca Meat Market.
Yeah, that place is awesome. I go there all the time, dude.
Mm-hmm.
I always tell people, like, if you're gonna go somewhere to get like good quality meat and like all the Mexican fixings you want, like the good thing is they have like all the cheeses. You can buy it by the pound, but just like for example, like we make out here, like you guys have a lot of barbacoa, which is I love barbacoa, and there's a lot of birria, which is same thing. It's just a little soupier. That I love that. And that was the hardest thing for us to start making over here because you have to use a specific style of meat, a specific cut, so it's authentic and it just tastes better when you have this style of meat. Well, I actually found it there. Of all places I went, I found it there. So, and I talked to the I don't know if it's the owner or the manager, but I've talked to him a couple of times. He's like, yeah, if you just let us know ahead of time, we'll have X amount of pounds for you, so you can pick it up. But yeah, that place has the good stuff. They have the really good, like I mentioned about the chorizo. They have it in the cinnamon roll style form, which you get that, you just grill it, and it's awesome because it doesn't fall apart. Like when you make like the tube of it, it dissolves. It's almost like oil. With this stuff, it's literally, it keeps its form. So you can just chop it up in little bite-sized pieces, put it in the taco, and it's amazing.
This is awesome.
Thank you, dude.
This is great. Have you taken a bite yet? The tortilla is good. Everything is good. Oh, Crystal texted me and said, give me salsa. Which salsa? You want some of this one? It's hot. Well, this one's different, right?
Yeah, that one's got a mixture of the red and our green, which I like a lot. It gives like a little bit of a tomatillo base with the tomato and the serranos and all that. So I would just say like try each of them.
Here, let me try.
I'm a little ghetto, so like I'll drink it from the cup as I take a bite.
That's what I did.
I'm down with that.
Here we go. I'm going to take this big old bite.
It's funny because, like, one of my neighbors, Joel Winkle, I love him Tara and Tessa, the Winkles. It's funny because when I gave him a burrito, as we met, they help us out a lot. They're awesome. And aside from Colleen, she's like the queen. She's the best. And then it comes Joel.
Okay.
And I just had to say that so that way Colleen doesn't say anything. But anyways, yeah, he loves the way like we tuck our burritos. He's like, dude, this is awesome. I could just throw my salsa in there. It's like a cup. It saves it for me. When I get to the very bottom, it's like a reservoir. Like all the juiciness is down there. So I was like, yeah, that's pretty much the reason why.
Pours it into the top.
Yeah,
and by the time
exactly.
you get to the bottom, you just like drinking the burrito.
Yeah, it's like a snow cone or like an ice cream cone. You get like all the vanilla and the juice.
Yes. It's awesome. So we better go back on the FM because it's almost 10 o'clock. And then we can tell everybody how awesome it is. And then we'll remind them how they can find you on social media and then where you're going to be at so they can buy and taste these as well.
Awesome.
Here we go. Good morning. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM. Right now it's 9:55. I'm Gardy. I got Adrian here. Him and his wife, Jessica, they own La Cruz Tacos. They are right here in Leak City, Texas. So you will be able to try these tacos yourself, and I'm going to let Adrian share how you can get those next.
Definitely, dude. Hit us up on we're lacruztacos.com, LACRUZ, La Cruz, or you can say La Cruz. Depends on if you like to roll your R's or not. You could look us up on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, all those platforms. And we have a pop-up location at Oki's Yard House at 1010 Marina Bay Drive, Clear Lake Shores. And we're there every Sunday from 4 p.m. to 10 p.m. And on Saturdays, we just picked up. We're going to start tomorrow, first Saturday.
At Oki's as well?
Yep, at Oki's as well from 8:30 a.m. till 3 p.m.
All right.
And on Saturdays, we're going to showcase like the burritos. If everything works out, then we'll transition on Sundays to do burritos as well.
Is that the final goal? To hopefully have, La Cruz, I mean, do you want a brick and mortar or like maybe to a food truck or multiple trucks? Or
I wouldn't mind a food truck right now, but the ultimate goal is for us to have a really small brick and mortar. I mean, when I say small, I mean like,
because you want the drive-throughs.
Yeah, like the size of like a Checkers. I don't want indoor seating. I mean, if
I have a question.
Yeah,
what's Checkers?
You
is
guys
that a Cali
thing? Well, we call them rallies, which is funny. I seen them out here. You guys call them Checkers. It's like a really small like burger drive-through.
Okay.
It's probably like a 40 by 40 little square. They just have a drive-through and like a window you walk up to and place an order.
Yeah.
Almost like a Sonic's without the drive-through. Well, without like the side seating and all that.
Yeah, like Leo's. If you're from Lamarck, like Leo's
burgers over
Okay.
there in Lamarck, which I grew up right by. But you can pull up. They got a little window outside. You can get something and go.
That's exactly what
Very
we're looking
small
for.
inside.
Yeah, like in the West Coast, in San Diego, LA, I mean, those taco shops are like 4 per street. So it just makes it easy. They're 24 hours. You just drive through. You can phone in an order. You can text them. But
Yeah.
yeah, we're just trying to get on that level.
Colleen is saying, come to downtown Lamarck. She said, build a store in Lamarck, Texas. She can find a 40 by 40
Dude,
spot
I
specifically
told
for you.
Colleen, I was like, for Christmas, give me a couple $100,000 and we'll jump on that. I really don't mind.
This is the year.
Yeah.
This is the year. Okay, so this is Dale. He said Checkers is a Memphis thing. Like, I guess,
Oh,
like
shoot.
that. I don't even know.
Is that Dell Johnson?
Yes.
I love her. It's my wife's cousin.
Okay.
Yeah, I guess it is a Memphis thing. Funny thing is, out here they have a couple Checkers, so I don't know. It goes.
Is that the name of an actual, like, joint? Like,
Yeah, because in the West Coast they're called Rally's Burgers. And
Yeah.
out here I guess it's like Carl's Jr., how they call them Hardy and Carl's Jr.
Yeah.
Same exact thing.
I never seen a Checkers.
There's one on NASA that just opened up. It's on NASA, and it's like right before you get to Nobi. I forget that street, but it's on
Yeah.
the right-hand side.
Okay.
It's like on NASA and Egret.
Yeah. So is that? It says it's Water Street. Okay. Yeah. IHOP. So over there would be like,
Is that Webster?
Avenida Brazil, or I don't know what it is. No, that's not Avenida Brazil. I don't know, but I need to go check it out because I haven't had that yet.
Yeah,
But
they
she's
actually have
driving good.
amazing French fries. The burgers are good, but I think Walmart sells like their frozen fries you can get. But
Mhm.
dude, their fries are awesome. They're like seasoned. They're crispy.
Yeah.
Yeah, that place is good.
Do
But
they
yeah,
have good ketchup?
They actually do. Not as good as Whataburger.
Yeah.
I love salted ketchup and like spicy ketchup. So I mean, that's another thing you guys have that we don't in the West Coast.
That's like an In-N-Out thing over
Exactly.
territory over there. I saw they just opened one in Houston. I don't know how I feel about it. I've never had it, but it's just like a sense of pride. It's like Tex-Mex, Cali-Mex. We got Whataburger. They got In-N-Out.
Yeah.
But we just need to come together, Texans and Californians, and
Yeah.
just say, let's eat some
Well,
tacos.
dude, I will say this though. Texas, I feel, in my personal opinion, because I feel like I have a valid opinion, because I grew up. I mean, I spent like 37 years in San Diego, so I
Mhm.
know pretty much food as far as what's out there. But Texas has like a far better variety, and the food's really good. Like I have a cousin that just moved here from San Diego a couple months ago, and he lives like up in the it's like the KHEA area, I want to say,
Mm-hmm.
up there, and he's like, man, I just can't get over how many amazing restaurants there are. He's like, there's like 5 breweries. And he was afraid. The first thing he asked me is like, dude, how's the beer? I was like, the beer's actually really good over here. Like, you're gonna be surprised. Like all the local Texas, as far as like Houston, like breweries,
Yeah.
phenomenal. And like I have like my hole in the wall little like breweries I like to go to because I'm just like a craft beer buff. So it's like if someone's drinking Coors Light, I'll be that snob. Be like, no, I'll drink water.
Just
Nothing
have water-
against it. I mean, I used to
water instead.
love Coors Light. I'm a Pantera fan, so I was like, all
Yeah.
I drank was Coors Light and Crown. So, I'm
So you're a
like,
Pantera fan from California.
yep. I love Dime, dude. He's like my top 5 guitar players.
Is that the kind of music you mentioned playing with your friends? Were you playing metal?
No, I actually grew up playing like punk and metal. As I got older, I started
Yeah.
playing more of like rock. Like I guess you can compare it to like Foo Fighters, Interpol.
Yeah.
Like a little more like easy listening.
That's
I guess
cool.
I got to the point where I was like, well, if I can make money doing this, more people will listen to easy listening than screaming. But yeah, I love Pantera. They're like one of my favorite bands.
That's cool.
Like top 5 for sure. But I love Dime. But yeah, Coors Light. that's
Guitar?
where-
Is that
Yep.
what you did?
Guitar.
Did you have? I mean, because Dimebag Darrell, he could play the guitar.
Oh, dude,
he
that-
could make it like scream and sing and stuff. Is that the kind of?
No.
Can you play like that? I
no,
can't.
I wish.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, I'm more of like I'll hit one string and like the other ones muffle and they sound horrible.
More
So-
distortion. Get more pedal.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
like get the crowd some earplugs.
Yeah.
But no, it's I don't shred. I'm not a shredder. I'm more of like a lead as far as like rhythmic, almost like the Edge
Yeah.
from U2, like just like the harmonies and the melodies
That's cool.
and just like riffs. I'm not a shredder, but I love like certain styles, and like Dime is like, dude, you can never. That guy, like, it sucks what happened to him. It's so sad, but like, I don't know. I just feel like for some reason, like, he just was not meant to be here.
Yeah.
He was just too big for what this is.
I
Sad.
got you.
But yeah.
Right now, 10:01 a.m. This is KHEARadio.com, 99.5. We're talking to La Cruz Tacos. We have Adrian here. Is there anything else you'd like to share while you're here today?
Yeah. We're trying to get out there, so anybody wants to give us a call, and we do catering. We do events. If you have a birthday party, if you have an office meeting, whatever it is, we handle that. We can bring our cart. we have a awesome, which is another thing that a lot of people love about us, is we have like a 6x3 taco cart that we specifically bought from a company that makes taco style carts. So it's got like our fryer, our griddle, it's on wheels, it's giant. So yeah, we bring that to your home, to your business. But basically, as far as people, our whole goal is just to get people to come out. We have a pop-up, like I mentioned, at Oki's Yard House on Sundays from 4 to 10, and on Saturday mornings from 8:30 to 3, and lacruztacos.com. And we're just trying to give people an idea of what we do, and we do catering. If somebody's got an office, whatever the case is, we can drop food off, or we could prepare it there depending on how many people. But yeah, we do the burritos. We have an H-Town burrito, which is specifically for Houstonians. Is that the
Houstonians? Yeah.
So, and we actually just developed a chimichanga, which is funny because in the West Coast, nobody really eats queso. Out here, it's like when I came here, I was like, queso?
You got to have queso.
Yeah. And I fell in love with it.
Yeah.
We actually, my wife, Jessica, who I love dearly, she just came up with a queso because she's like the influence. She comes up with the recipes. We go back and forth, and I'm like, I get jealous. I'm like, well, I didn't like that. And then like I'll eat it like a week later. I'm like, yeah, actually, let's bring that back. But she just came up with the queso, which is awesome. So what we do is like this size burrito, we're throwing the Houstonian, which is we throw carne asada in there, our roll taco, which has chicken in it, and then all the fixings. But basically, we deep fry that, so it's a chimichanga. So it's just pretty much this exact size, and then we're gonna cascade it with our queso, and then like cotija cheese and a couple other things. And yeah, that's another huge thing that we're going to introduce to the Texas Houston community.
Awesome. Okay, I have one final question. And your wife, you're going to have to go back and read this because I'm not going to read the comment. We are streaming on Facebook, but she's funny. Well, I will read it. She said, you're just going to have to cut him off. He won't stop talking. But La Cruz, how did you come up with the name?
That's a weird thing. I don't know. I guess you can use it. I always say moving here was a really difficult decision for me. My wife, I backed her up. She's the brains behind our operation as far as a family. So she has an amazing job, and we moved out here partial for our jobs, but moving out here was a difficult thing for me. It was really difficult. So I just felt like doing the tacos, it was kind of like a curse. It was like my cross to bear, I guess you could say.
Yeah.
So I kind of used that term, La Cruz, as far as if you translate it in English, it's like the cross. So it's kind of like my cross to bear. Also in Tijuana and like Baja, when you speak Spanish, if someone's really hungover, they say me pegó la cruz, which means like the curse almost if you were to translate that. So when they say that, they want fatty, greasy food. So I also felt like it works like on a double entendre as far as like La Cruz.
Just
like,
what I need.
Yeah, like I have a curse. I'm hungover. I need some greasy food.
Okay.
So, and then I kind of wanted to go biblical. I'm Catholic, so like I love like Virgin Mary, La Virgen. I love all that stuff. So I was trying to do like a play like on that. I didn't want to be too biblical and like upset people. Nowadays, it's like if you have a cross somewhere, it's like someone's gonna get upset. So yeah.
Yeah.
Kind of all over the place with that.
So it has multiple meanings.
Yep.
That's cool.
I guess.
Well, I
my
like
wife
the
is
name. It
probably
works.
Pissed off. She's like, you could have just said it has multiple meanings.
lacruz.com. Check them out. Thank you so much for hanging out today. I appreciate you.
Thank you, Gardy. Appreciate it, man. It was awesome.
I know that there are going to be some very full people that are going to enjoy the rest of these burritos. So thank you.
Well, come out, dude, to the pop-up.
All
We're practically neighbors, so we actually have some food items for kids too. We'll do those fajitos, taquitos without like any fixings on them. Just like,
without
kids,
the vegetables.
Exactly. So kids see that it's fried, they're like, "Oh, awesome!" So, yeah.
And then you could do French fries, really, if you needed.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So.
All right. This is KHEA Radio, 99.5 FM.
You have seen.
Thank you.
No problem, man.
You're
Thank
awesome.
you. Appreciate it.
You're awesome. You're awesome. Should be. I'll have to make sure I get those burritos too. Yeah. It was very good. Will you please drink the rest of this salsa? Tell me if it's spicy. The answer is yes. So the other one was good, but the other one's not as spicy as that one, right?
Yeah, no, the other one has.
I like this one better.
It's the real deal.
I prefer the bright red. That's like my go-to. There's a place actually like a small hole-in-the-wall taco shop, and we would go there all the time. And I'm like, dude, how do you guys make your salsa? I asked him one day. The guy's like, oh, we do this, this, and that. And
They told you?
He didn't tell me, but he kind of was beating around the bush. And like for months, we just kept messing around with ingredients until we figured it out.
So he told you like some of the ingredients?
Yeah, he just said like we use tomato, like the 2 chilies.
Yeah.
Like serrano, arbol, and he's like in garlic. So I'm like, all right, cool. So we just kept going back and forth until we found it.
Yeah.
And it's funny because it's right by the airport in San Diego. So like as soon as we land, no joke, the first thing I do is like I get my parents. I'm like, hey, just drop us off here for a couple minutes. We're gonna get some food, and then go home. So it's like crazy. Yeah.
That's cool. I would just like drop him off one of my salsas one day. Just
Yeah,
be
I
like,
know. Huh?
I did
Leave it by the window. Yeah.
I did it.
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking about doing. Having like some streamers and balloons and everything, like make an event out of it.
Yeah.
Be like, yeah, guys, I'm gonna mass produce it.
Surprise. Man, I had a guest that's supposed to be coming in talking about it's Crunch Fitness. Have you seen them? I've seen a lot of sponsored posts pop up, but one of the girls who's working there, she used to work for Chick-fil-A doing marketing. And so we had talked to her about some stuff, and so she had reached back out and said, "Hey, I'm not at Chick-fil-A right now anymore, but can I come talk about credit?" I was like, "Yeah, absolutely," because they took over that spot. I guess that's 518. There used to be a Kroger there.
Okay, yeah, I know what you're talking about.
Yeah, and there was nothing there for 45 and 518 in that big old strip. And then Crunch Fitness is coming in there. It says, "Do you like working out? Do you do some stuff?" So it says like no judgments. So I'm like, all right, cool. Yeah, let's go. I want to talk about it. I want to learn about it. So hopefully I sent her a text to see maybe she forgot. But if she did, we'll have to make sure we do some other stuff. But we'll see. Maybe they'll show up.
Yeah, no, that's one thing too with like cooking food is like I try to like limit my intake because otherwise everybody I know who's like a taco shop owner or at least like a restaurant business is big. So I'm always like, all right, I got to go to the gym at least 4 times a week.
I just got to eat.
Yeah, limit myself on like the R&D.
Yeah, I got to taste it.
Yeah. We always like just take a little bite, but that's it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. And then we got another guy, Scott. Man, I'm excited. So this another gentleman who works here, but he was asking me, he's like, "Hey, what kind of guests? Well, like, what do you got going on today?" Because we had ordered these speakers a long time ago, but we're gonna put a speaker over there, and then I'm gonna have a knob over here so I can force people that are out there to listen to me or whatever I want to put.
Oh, cool.
So that's gonna be fun.
Nice.
Hopefully I don't take
It's like a studio.
Yeah.
Have access to like the live room.
I'll just make sure that they, I'll force them to listen pretty much. They're going to take the button away. They'll be like, "Stop making us listen to you.
I know.
Stop."
You know what's funny is, change the subject. I was going to ask you, did you say your daughter was older or your son was older?
My son's 7, my daughter's 2.
Does he go to the elementary school right there?
No, he actually goes to the school here. We have a school here.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was just going to ask you, have you ever seen, there's a crossing guard right there. There's a lady. I don't know her name, but she's there like every day, waves to all the kids. I didn't know if you knew her or not.
Mm-mm.
Okay. I'm trying to
Like
figure out
going to the education village?
Yeah. She's right there at the crosswalk, and she's like the crosswalker or whatever her her title is, but like she waves to everybody, super nice. And I mean, dude, she's there like in rain or shine. Like it's the other day when it was pouring, she was out there.
Still waving?
Yeah, and I didn't know who she was. I wanted to figure out who she was so I can go by there, like literally, and just bring her a bunch of breakfast. Like,
yeah, you need to go by. Yeah, bring her a breakfast, a burrito, and a card.
Yeah,
that'd be cool.
Yeah, I didn't know if you knew who she was.
Mm-mm.
I've been asking people in our neighborhood. Everyone's like, "No, she's really nice, but we don't know who she is." And it's like I would love to stop and ask, but the parking lot's so far to get into that school. I'm like,
yeah,
and I can't park right there on the side of the road. So
yeah, that's funny. It would just cause more of a congestion.
Yeah,
in
definitely.
traffic. I feel you.
Drop off. Yeah, I'll screw up the drop off pattern. Everyone's gonna yell at me. Well, I'm gonna have to get going. Unfortunately, I still have a day job.
Cool.
But I'm thinking I might.
What kind of work are you in?
I do import and export of industrial chemicals. They could be hazardous or non-haz.
Like in the air or boats?
Boats.
Boats?
Tankers, yeah.
Okay.
So
I got a friend. She works, in tankers, but I can't remember which company it's for. But she's always like, I got to go to the Netherlands or like random places.
Our company is Swiss-based, and this is the first operation that's in the United States.
Yeah.
But my wife, she does the same thing, except she's like a director, like she's like high up there.
Cool.
But she doesn't really deal with tankers, mostly like rail, semi trucks, and like they have like depots where like they just have consolidation centers.
Yeah.
And she deals with she's basically high up in this company, but it sucks because when we moved here for a different company we both worked for. And then that's kind of why we were forced to move. The company's like, well, you guys have been living pretty for the past couple years, so
Yeah.
it's time to like really live here and put.
Yeah, been able to work from home.
Yeah.
Which is nice for you. Nice for you
Exactly.
guys.
So we did that, and then like a month later, she got offered a new job, which is based in Los Angeles. So now she's like here for 1 week. Next week she's in LA.
Oh, wow.
So it's like we're all like she's all over the place.
Yeah.
Like she's she's actually here this week, but like next week she's gonna be in Savannah for 2 days, and then she's like in New Jersey. So it's like she's all over the place.
Man, you know who else? So one of our partners, Axe Masters, she works in that too, in shipping containers and stuff like that.
Okay.
I guess like with the ports.
Yeah, and that's the thing out here. You're either like in like logistics,
Oil and gas,
yeah,
logistics.
or like a operator, like
Yeah.
in a chemical plant.
Hmm.
Yeah, she was actually telling me that the industry, as far as like ports, Houston is the biggest. LA actually had the biggest, but now
Yeah.
LA's just become like a nightmare with like cost and everything. So they're anticipating once they redig the Panama Canal and the super tankers can get through, Houston is actually going to be the biggest port in the United States like in the next like 4 years,
Wow.
which is probably going to be huge for the economy.
Yeah.
It's already grown so much. It's like it's probably going to literally be like 5 times the amount of people that are already here.
Mm-hmm.
So
We have room. They say, well, I know there's room in Lamarck, and they're building thousands of new homes, like literally all around our building right here. And then in League City, talking to the officials there, they say it's only halfway. There's like 100,000 plus people, but they say we're only halfway developed. And like, sweet, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess we'll figure it out. We got room.
I don't know if that's a good thing because just driving around like our neighborhoods it takes forever, man.
Yeah.
Like I don't know if this is actually.
Which way do you get if you were going to your house from here? Which way do you get there?
I actually came the side road, so I came down where that Oaxaca market.
That's what I do.
And I made a right, and I came all the way down, and it dropped me off in front of the mainland mall,
Yes.
and I kept going straight.
Yeah. So like that's what I'll, depending on what time it is and what I'm thinking. Like I'll go out, by Mall of the Mainland, hit Highway 3, 517, by Oaxaca to Dickinson Avenue, 96 to the house.
Yeah.
And then whenever they shut down 646 for that's when I was like, I got to get creative because I used to just I would go south to 646 all the way to 45. And then it's just like, I'm going to go 146. I'm just like changing up like what's going on. I used to live in Marbella, which is over right by 146.
Yeah.
And so I would without, a thought, I would just 146 straight down through Texas City. But yeah, it'll be interesting, because all of that construction's coming to Lamarck, but it'll be really nice once they widen the road and it's all done.
Yeah,
but
definitely.
it's going to be a lot of development and houses that are moving their way all around here. So we're looking
nice
forward to, we need that 40 by 40
I know. Huh?
down here.
That's my goal, man. I'm aiming towards that. But yeah, dude. Honestly, thanks a lot, man. This was awesome.
Of course.
Really nice of you.
Yeah,
Really
holler at me
appreciate
if there's something I can do.
that. Definitely,
Let me know.
man.
And thank you for those burritos. I know
Anytime,
there's
man.
going to be some
I'm
happy
hoping-
people.
I'm hoping, honestly, by like beginning of the year, I'll probably be done working.
Okay.
And I'm just gonna focus on this because I have a lot of people that want me to like drop food off, and I'm just gonna be like, I guess, a renegade about it. I'm just
Yeah.
gonna find empty parking lots for like a couple hours, and I'm just gonna hit all of them up, even though I don't have permits, and just
Yeah, because I guess you're supposed to have, it's supposed to be private property. I remember when all that stuff, like when food, it was probably about 10 years ago now, that was like in Houston, like the rules and the laws changed. And then there's even stuff like feeding the homeless, like you have to have like all the
Oh, yeah.
permitting and then the property you're on, you can get hit
yeah, you can get
the
sued.
fan,
Like, a homeless
with a
person
fine
gets
rather.
sued. Like if they develop like dysentery or something.
Yeah.
You're liable. It sucks.
I was trying to be nice.
Yeah.
I was trying to be nice.
No, I
Cool.
can't do that, but yeah, like I mentioned, I'll probably be done working like around
Yeah.
early January or like late December. My family's coming in like from San Diego like on the 21st, and I'm telling my wife, I'm like, I think I might quit by then. She's like, if you quit, like you better make sure the money's there. So
Yeah.
But
Hustle.
anyways, yeah, if I'll let you know once I do, and I'll come by. And honestly, like I don't want to be like a intruder, but I'll bring you guys food, and like if
Okay.
you guys have random people that are in, like I'll bring samples just to like anything helps me out. As far
We're
as just to
down.
Get out there. So.
Yeah.
And I actually do have some like keto friendly stuff, and so if people are like honestly, like if you want to like watch your weight, I can do options with like no tortilla and
Okay.
nonsense, just like the meat and like veggies.
Cool.
Yeah. So
I'll try it. I'm down.
awesome.
I appreciate you.
No problem. It was really nice meeting you.
Nice meeting you
Next
too.
time I'll work on like a veggie platter. Just in case you want to go back.
The chicken and the. Do you eat? You don't eat pork. No, unless it's accidentally in the.
Do you eat ceviche, like Mexican seafood? Okay, cool.
That'll
We do
work.
some really good ceviches and stuff too, so
Cool.
we'll have to bring you guys some.
All right. We'll see ya.
All right,
Have a good one.
likewise. Thanks again. Really appreciate it.
Well, Crystal, I think Crunch Fitness forgot about us. But that's okay.
I think so too.
That means I get to go to the staff meeting that we're having at 10:30.
Oh, I stopped the live.
Oh.